Good afternoon, I'm Kim Baez. The Good Friday crash that killed 3 people in northern New Mexico is the state's first deadly crash caused by a drunk driver with an ignition interlock. Deputies think that driver, Richard Rael, had someone else blow into the device to start the car. There is an ignition interlock that puts a little fear into drivers who are tempted to cheat the system. Here's News 13's Maria Medina with why it's not being used that much.
And Kim, interlocks with cameras were supposed to cut down on drunk driving, but we found very few convicted drunk drivers have them.
Richard Dominic Rael and his 2 passengers died instantly near Espanola on Good Friday.
It's a horrific scene.
Rael had a blood alcohol level of .246, 3 times the legal limit. Investigators say someone else that day had to blow into his ignition interlock device twice, once to start the car and then again a half hour before the crash to keep the car running.
We believe that it's another deterrent.
Jim Burton rents out interlocks to DWI offenders. He says there's a device that's much better.
The system is looking for the human face.
An interlock that snaps a picture of the driver.
These camera systems will actually allow us to be in the vehicle.
But Burton says it's not being used enough.
I mean, it's a really effective tool if it's used.
Out of his 850 clients, less than 2 dozen use the camera interlocks. It's up to a judge to issue the device. Burton thinks that judges may not be sentencing offenders to the camera interlock, partly because it's more expensive. Burton's camera interlock costs $30 more a month than the regular interlock.
I mean, some of our clients even admit that they do it.
Burton says drivers can still cheat the camera interlock by having someone else blow into it, but the picture will eventually catch up to them. Burton says that's the deterrent.
They're a lot more afraid of what's going to happen to them, and now we have evidence.
And we are still waiting on the blood alcohol results for Rael's 2 passengers to see if they'd been drinking as well. A cooler and beer bottles were found at the crash scene. Kim?
Okay, thanks, Maria. Now, a Metro Court employee says judges may not be issuing camera interlocks as much because the fund that helps low-income drunk drivers pay for their interlocks has been running low.